What's up, everyone? I am back with a new video for my movie collection library shelves overview. This is shelf number 7. How are you doing out there? End of June, summer started. I'm still out of work, but I watch a lot of movies, so it's all good. It keeps me busy. So, all right, let's start this up. First one on the docket. That would have to be Gravity 3D, which it's a steelbook. And I've actually seen parts of it in 3D on my TV because I have a 3D TV, and it's surprisingly good. It really pops out of you, and it's a great buy. So if you haven't had a chance, check it out. Then we have 80s comedy, The Great Outdoor, John Candy, Dan Aykroyd. I feel it's under talked about. Howard Deutsch did this, and it's written by John Hughes, of course. So there we go, Great Outdoors. Then we have The Great Hype, Samuel L. Jackson. Never seen it. I'm sure it's good. Then one of first of I think 3 Michael J. Fox comedies in this row, Greedy, with Michael J. Fox, like I said, Kirk Douglas, Nancy Travis. It's a fun little comedy about a big family trying to fuck over each other over money. So that's always fun. Then we have Gremlins, the special edition. I should get the Blu-ray. I don't know why I still had the DVD, but there you go, Gremlins. And what comes with Gremlin 1 comes Gremlin 2, the new batch, which celebrated its birthday last week. 30 years ago. One of Joe Dante's best movie. Very funny, subversive. If you've never seen it, I would urge you to check it out. Then we have another satirical comedy, if you will, God Bless America. Bobcat Goldthwait. He's done quite a few movies as a director. I don't know if a lot of people are aware of that, but I particularly like this one. I remember actually seeing this one in New York, which was a fun time. So there you go. Then, what movie collection would be complete without the Godfather Trilogy? This is the DVD set. Again, I should probably get the Blu-ray of this, but yeah, there you go. Then we have The Golden Child. Probably one of Eddie Murphy's less talked about comedies from the 80s, I would say. But one of the best artwork. Look at this thing. It's just gorgeous. I got the vinyl of this, and I keep staring at it. So, yeah, there you go. The Golden Child. Then we have some Chuck on deck with Good Guys Wear Black. I've not seen this one, funny enough. I know, is it from the 70s? Yeah, 1977. Very curious to see it. I'm keeping it for later on in life. Then we have Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. I got the nice little steelbook right here. Then Kino Lorber title, Grandview USA, Jamie Lee Curtis, C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze. This was all in their very early career, 1984. Well, not that early, actually, 1984. Not for Jamie Lee Curtis, but probably for like Patrick Swayze and C. Thomas Howell. So there you go. The movie that will be on the thumbnail on YouTube, Green Slime. If you're into kitschy, sci-fi, late 60s movies, you can't do better than this one. You know, fake sets, rubber monsters, a killer song, Green Slime. Once you hear it, it will never leave your head. It is crazy, but it's very good. Then we have Dead Proof, Quentin Tarantino, and then Robert Rodriguez, Planet Terror, right here. And I got on all of one DVD, the way I saw it in theaters, the Grindhouse DVD, when you get the in-between ads and trailers and all that good stuff. Again, another one I should probably get on Blu-ray at some point. Well, probably my favorite John Cusack movie, Grosse Pointe Blank. Saw this in theaters. Oh my God, when was this? 97? holy shit. And I've seen it quite a few times since. Great movie about a hitman going back to high school, to his high school reunion, and he meets his ex, played by Minnie Driver. Dan Aykroyd's in this. Alan Arkin, his sister, also is in this. So good. Then Code Red, Group Marriage. That was a blind buy. Still haven't watched it, but you know, is it as provocative as it says as the title and the artwork? I guess I'll find out. One of the great thriller, I'd say action movie, psychological thriller of the 2010s, The Guest. I got the steel book of this. Dan Stevens, so good. Plays a creeper. Right here, I'm gonna put this there. Then we have Guilty by Association, Robert De Niro. So I believe it's 1991 right here. I'm on a kick lately of Andy Sedaris movies, and Mill Creek is pretty much helping me, you know, injecting this into my veins. This is Guns, starring Eric Estrada. I am almost caught up to all the Andy Sedaris movies. I think there's 2 missing. The last 2 I still haven't gotten, but I will soon enough. Then we have Gymkata. World champion Kurt Thomas, the master of, probably the only master of Gymkata. And sadly, Kurt Thomas died last week. So I don't know if there's still practitioners of Gymkata out there, but my God, this movie, man. So cheesy, so good. If you like 80s action, worth checking out. Then we have Hackers. I believe it's 1995. One of those like internet movies when internet was just popping out. Movies like The Net and this one, where Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie were an actual couple on this movie. And Record Store Days coming up, the first one on August 29th, and the soundtrack of this will be on vinyl for the first time. So if you're into, you know, electronic music from 1995, then you'll be in heaven. Up next, Half Bake. Dave Chappelle. Who doesn't have Half Bake in their collection? This is a classic. The movie they did, Dave Chappelle and Neil Brennan, right before the Chappelle Show. So if you're a fan of that, check it out. Exploitation, horror, Happy Birthday to Me. This was shot right here in Montreal. This is the Mill Creek edition right here. And I'm working on a little something right now. I'm gonna probably do try to find like the film locations of this, so something's gonna pop up soon on my channel, so check that out. Up next, Hardcore, Paul Schrader. This is from the Indicator label. Still haven't seen it, but it's about a dad that finds out that his daughter is doing porn, and just from the trailer alone you see him act his ass off, and I can't wait to check it out. A dumb 80s comedy, hard bodies, just a bunch of bros, just a bunch of dudes trying to mack on girls on the beach. I mean, the cover says it all. Up next, a 90s action movie that's, I feel like, underseen. Hard Rain. Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater. You know, they're stuck in a town. There's a bank robbery, and everything happens under hard rain. It rains. The mood is really awesome, and yeah, I really like this one. I've seen it a few times. Yeah, check it out. Then I have Hardrock Zombies. Look at this cover, man. This is crazy. I still haven't seen it, but heard good things. There you go. How about some Van Damme? John Woo, Hard Target. Seen that one too in theaters in 1993 because I'm that old, but it's definitely one of the better Van Damme movies. Really kicks some ass. I believe it was John Woo's first movie in America. So yeah, there you go. Some more Andy Sedaris. We got Hard Ticket to Hawaii. This is the one with the crazy scene where this dude gets like a rocket launcher and just shoot someone right up in the sky. Oh, it's just crazy. It's just must watch. check it out. About some Seagal, Hard to Kill, right here, with his then wife, what's her name again? Kelly Lebrock. Of course it's Kelly Lebrock. This is what, like, that sweet spot of Seagal between like 88 and 91 or 92. I'd say, 92. Out to Under Siege in 92. He was on a roll, and then it's all a shit show from then on. But there you go, worth checking out. Then we have The Hard Way, one of my all-time favorite comedies. Michael J. Fox, James Woods before he went batshit crazy. Kino Lorber just announced a Blu-ray release for this. I believe it'll be in the fall with The Secret of My Success. Again, Kino Lorber, I like what they put out. I just hate their goddamn spines. So boring, but I'm happy it'll be on Blu-ray. I know there's a UK edition, but I'm gonna get the Kino Lorber one. Then a Scorpion releasing Harlequin. I know it's to do with magic and all that crazy stuff. Again, a blind buy. I found this one in New York on a trip. Then we have Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson. Like a biker movie. Simon Windsor in this. Yeah, that's a good one. How about some Errol and Kumar Go to White Castle? There you go. I got the other two movies in there, but in a tote somewhere. Oh, actually, I got the Blu-ray right here of Escape from Guantanamo Bay. I'm only missing the Christmas one. Then we have The Hateful Eight, the 8th film by Quentin Tarantino. A long, slow burn. I think it was like 3 hours worth. Saw in theaters with the intermission, and I got the program they gave with it. It's pretty cool. I like this as a Velcro thing, and then you get the inside right here. All right, then we have one of the best action movies of the 90s. This one is very dusty. Look at this. I'm gonna put this. Heat, Michael Mann, all-star cast, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. My God, man, this is a great heist movie. Just that's that famous scene in the diner between Al and Robert for like a good 10 minutes. That was before The Irishman. That was the first time they were on camera together. Then we have Her, one of Spike Jonze's best movie, right here. One of my favorite from Chuck, Hero and the Terror, a Kino release, I believe. Yes, it is a Kino release. So there you go, little Chuck. Then we have High Rise, Ben Wheatley. I was so psyched to see this movie just from the trailer alone, and I've yet to seen it. But I should put this on my list very soon. I heard disappointing things about it, but there you go. Great sci-fi movie from the 80s, The Hidden, from the Warner Archive collection. People, aliens hiding as humans on Earth. Very, very, very good. And Michael Nouri and Kyle MacLachlan in this. So there you go. About a slasher from Code Red, we have Hide and Go Shriek. It was okay, just a middle of the road slasher from the 80s right here. There we go. Another favorite John Cusack film of mine, it is High Fidelity. I mean, who hasn't seen this one? And the new series that aired on Hulu a couple months ago, which was kind of like a cover song of the movie. And I quite enjoyed it, but the movie itself is if you haven't seen, watch the movie first, then obviously the series, if you can. Up next, we have High Pointe, another movie filmed in Canada. This one was in Toronto, I believe. Richard Harris, Christopher Plummer, Beverly D'Angelo, a young Beverly D'Angelo before the vacation movies, that is. Then we have Higher Learning, John Singleton, may he rest in peace. This was John Singleton going to university and all the crazy stuff that's happened there. Christy Swanson and Jennifer Connelly is in this movie, so that made my dreams come true as a young man. There you go. Another horror movie from Kino Lorber, Highway to Hell. Again, Christy Swanson's in this one. And the brother of Rob Lowe, which is Chadlow, I believe. Yes, Chadlow. So there you go. So you can see Christie right here. Then we have The Hills Have Eyes Part 3, Mind Ripper. But I believe this is only a sequel in name. It has nothing to do with the Hills Have Eyes series. At least that's what I've read. I've yet to see it. But Lance Henriksen's in this. Giovanni Ribisi is one of my favorite actors from I remember from the Wonder Years days. Can you remember that far back? Then we have Hire to Kill, an Arrow release. Action movies from the 80s from Nico Mastorakis. I always had a hard name to say his name. George Kennedy, Brian Thompson, Oliver Reed. There you go. Another classic from the 80s, The Hitcher. We still don't have a North American release on Blu-ray. I know there's a German release of this, but yeah. Probably Rutgers Hauer, one of his best films with C. Thomas Howell in this. From 88 Films, Hitchhike, Franco Nero, Corinne Clery, David Hess. Excuse me. David Hess playing a creeper, again, in many movies as he does. Going after these two, getting pursued during the whole movie. So Italian cinema at its finest. Then one of my favorite Canadian exploitation movies from the 2000s, Hobo with a Shotgun, Rutger Hauer again. One of his last great movies he did. May he rest in peace. He died last year, sad to say, but there you go. And Jason Eisner hasn't done a movie since, or if he did, I think it was was an anthology, was in one of the VHS movies. But you should do a full-length movie again. That would be nice. Then we have Hollow Man from Paul Verhoeven, Invisible Man movie. Then we have Joe Dante's first movie, Hollywood Boulevard. Basically, just a string of many ideas strung out together. He did this with his friend Alan Arkush, who worked with Roger Corman at New World Pictures. They were cutting trailers. And they finally got their turn at the bat to direct a movie, and it was this one right here, Hollywood Boulevard. Then we have Hollywood Shuffle, Robert Townsend, and his entire crew here. The Wayne brothers are in this. There we go. Then we have Home Alone right here. A 4K edition's just been announced. I mean, how much clearer can you want to see this movie? I don't know, but it's happening. So you gotta let it happen. Hook, Steven Spielberg. I would say, I don't want to say like one of his lesser movies, but it's not. I think I saw it the one time in theaters 29 years ago. So that's how much it meant to me. Just to let you know. Then we have Horror of Dracula, Christopher Lee. Fantastic first ever performance as the Lord of the Undead. Yes, he did so many. It is his defining character right here. Two of my favorite comedies from the early 90s. We got Hot Shots, obviously a parody of Top Gun right here. And then Hot Shots Part 2, again, homage to Rambo, the series, and he was jacked up in this one, Charlie Sheen, he pumped it up. There you go. Up next we have The Hot Spot. This is a Dennis Hopper film starring Don Johnson. We have Jennifer Connelly and Virginia Madsen. I have seen this movie quite a few times for a certain scene with Jennifer Connelly that any man of my age would probably know if they've seen this movie. They know what I'm talking about, but it's a very sexy thriller, and it was shot in Texas, and you could tell how hot and muggy it was. Every frame of this movie is just dripping with sweat. So Dennis Hopper was quite the filmmaker, and I feel like this is one of those very underseen movies. And if you want to see like a film noir kind of type of movie with 3 great actors, I would definitely recommend this one. And there you go. Then we have another Code Red. Was it Scorpion? No, Code Red. The Hot Touch, a Roger Vadim film. I have not seen this one yet. There you go. Some more John Cusack with Hot Tub Time Machine. Fun little comedy. The sequel was crap, and John Cusack didn't come back for this one, so he knew. But this one, very much worth a watch right here. Some more classic horror with House of Wax, Vincent Price. It also includes the 1933 Technicolor original Mystery of the Wax Museum. So there you go, right here. Then we have another horror with some old folks. Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing in House of the Long Shadows with John Carradine and Daisy Arnaz Jr. I've not seen this one yet, but I will. Then fun little hip-hop movies. House Party, Kid and Play, Full Force. Robin Harris is in this. If anybody like old school hip-hop fan, Kid and Play, popped out for at least a year or two. They were pretty hot, and then they got to make a few movies. They get to make this one, and they did the sequel, House Party 2, The Pajama Jam, of course. And then number 3, which they were less involved in, but they were still in it. So House Party 3 right here. This bachelor party is going to bring down the house. Oh, yes, it will. It will. Up next, House Sitter, Frank Oz, one of my favorite comedy filmmakers. Just What About Bob alone gives him a pass for me. But Steve Martin, Goldie Hawn, it's a fun little, comedy here, right here, about the consequences of stretching the truth. So there you go. One of DC Comics' biggest flop before, no, not DC, Marvel, before they got to hit it big. It was Howard the Duck, produced by George Lucas. Would you believe I've yet to see this one? I don't know why. I'm very much into cheesy 80s movies, and so just the scene for Howard and the character that Leah Thompson plays, where they get it on. There's some duck on human action that clearly I need to watch right away. Then we have the Howling. Even though I got the is it the Scream Factory one edition, I kept the Blu-ray because I just like the cover of this one. There you go. Another one from 1991 that's been critically lambasted, but I kind of enjoy it. It's Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis. It's very over the top, and he's in full Bruno mode in this one. And his partner in this is Danny Aiello, and there's Andy McDowell. Richard E. Grant and Sandra Bernard are the villains in this, but you know what? I enjoyed it for what it was. Yes, it's not that great, but it's it's great 90s, early 90s. Then we have Hulk, the Edward Norton version, right here. Another Warner Archive collection, The Hunger, Catherine Deneuve, David Bowie, Susan Sarandon. This is Tony Scott, I believe. Was this his first movie? Yes, it was his first movie. This movie is about it's all moods, it's all settings. I believe it's in 1984 or 83. It's very stylish, great performances, but it's about vampires and stuff. But yeah, there you go. Then we have I, the Jury, Armand Assante. I got this one because Larry Cohen wrote it, I believe. Yes, it's screenplay by. He did all the screenplay only for as screenplays and not directed his own movies. What I'm trying to say is that he wrote and directed his own movies, but he also wrote screenplays just to make ends meet, so he could make his movies that he wanted. So that was one of them. This is from the Judd Apatow days. I Love You Man, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel. There you go, right here. a movie that is so true to life, frighteningly so. It foresaw things. Idiocracy with Luke Wilson. Mike Judge being a genius, saw everything that was going to happen. This came out in 2006. 2006. So yeah, Idiocracy right here. We're almost at the end. Almost at the end. We have Idle Hands, Devin Sawa, Seth Green, horror movies from the mid-90s. I know the Scream Factory version just came out not too long ago. Then we have The Illusionists with Ed Norton, Paul Giamatti, and Jessica Biel. There was one of the two movies that came out, the other one being from Christopher Nolan. You know the one I'm talking about, that I'm totally blanking on right now. But yeah, Magic from like the early 20s or something, or 10s or whatever. But yeah, it's a good one right here. A blaxploitation classic from the 80s. Another homage, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, with the Wayans brothers in charge. Keenan Ivory Wayans directing it. And we have Bernie Casey's in this, Isaac Hayes, Jim Brown. So a lot of the big stars from that time came back for this right here. And my God, last movie from shelf number 7. And it's something I saw in theaters as well back in 1993. It is In the Line of Fire, Clint Eastwood, John Malkovich, Ronnie Russo. Clint Eastwood was already old, and that was in 1992. So he's doubly old now, but it's a great movie about Clint playing a secret agent, a Secret Service agent protecting the presidents, and John Malkovich is wanting to assassinate him. So there's like a cat and mouse game between the two. Yeah, it's a fun little one, and directed by Wolfgang Petersen. So yeah, it's a fun little action thriller from the early 90s. Worth checking out. So that's it, y'all. That is it for shelf number 7. I have 2 more shelves in the first library, so I'm almost done. There's a couple videos coming up. Collection update next week. I'm waiting on my Vinegar Syndrome package yet still, so I'm going to do a little video on that. And I got it only on VHS review coming up soon as well, so come back for that. Thank you for watching, y'all, and I'll say to you bye for now. Ciao.